So, once again, we are at the crossroads where a lot of people are assuming that because somebody's contract is coming up real soon with the WWE, that they are instantly AEW bound. And look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The reason we have fans thinking right away, oh, that person's AEW bound, or this person, or AEW has interest in this person. The reason we're hearing fans talk about this, or the reason we're hearing outlets, say this and everything, isn't because there's no truth to it. No, it's not because of that. It's because with the fans, it's all about rebelling. It's rebelling against the WWE. It's their own way of saying, hey, you want us to stop rebelling against you? Look what AEW is doing. Take a page out of the playbook, apply it to yours, and see what happens. That's their mind thought. That's their mind process. If WWE looks at AEW and says, oh, they're doing that, let's do it, they'll be like, now you got it, now you got it, now you know what's going on. That's their mindset. That if they want, to them, if WWE wants them to stop rebelling and stop, coming up with these false, analogies and everything, or, prophecies or whatever, that WWE should just focus on, wrestling and do similar to what AEW is doing. And that's it. And the reason I bring this up is because, once again, we have somebody's contract up, in the next few weeks. That would be Johnny Gargano's. Now, Johnny Gargano signed with the company several years ago. And he is one of the best wrestlers they have right now. And it seems that he's been more embracive of kind of trying to be a hybrid of both sports entertainer and wrestler. In other words, he's more willing to, try something a little different to kind of, get him out of his shell, if you catch my drift. And, all the credit to him. All the credit to him. But now, a lot of people are assuming that after his contract is up, which he has signed an extension with, which takes him from December 3rd to the 10th, so he can finish out his original deal. A lot of people are assuming that when the AEW Winter is Coming edition of Dynamite occurs on December 16th, that Johnny's going to show up there. That Johnny's going to be all elite when it's all said and done. And I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. But if reports are coming out that WWE is strongly pushing for Johnny to stay, and you have, of all people, Shawn Michaels and potentially Triple H at the helm to get him to stay, then I think what we just have to do is wait and see. For all we know, and some people have pointed this out, for all we know, Johnny might just decide to take time off. Like Adam Page did when his wife gave birth to their child. Johnny may decide to take time off as well to, be with Candice when their child arrives. So, who's to say, who's to say he wouldn't do that? He probably would, take a break, if you will, a well-deserved break, non-injury wise, vacation, spend time with family, be there for the birth of his child. If I'm Johnny, I would do it. I would take time off. If I know that, hey, I'm not going to have to wrestle anymore, or be committed to wrestling for anybody anymore, and I can be with my wife and my future, child, especially when they arrive on this earth, then yeah, I would definitely go with it. I would definitely, take that opportunity to take a well-deserved break. So we don't know. We can't say, excuse me. We can't say, whether or not, Johnny's going to be all elite 6 days after the extension to his contract officially ends. We can't say that because, for all we know, he might decide to take a break. And that's it. We're more likely to see the debut of Taya Valkyrie at Winter is Coming than we are Johnny Gargano, if you want my opinion. My honest opinion. We're more likely to see her debut there than Johnny's. So, I would hold off right now. I would hold off. Because here's the thing about the AEW fans. I get that, if you had your way and you had the power, you had the stroke, you would sign everybody away from WWE, every talent, every man and woman, leave the WWE completely empty so that you could point your finger at them and say, there you go, that'll teach you a lesson. Now, if you want these people back, you'll focus on wrestling only. if you had your way, you would do that. And I say that with all due respect, no offense. Because I think anybody would feel that way, towards WWE, especially after some of the crap they've been pulling. But here's the thing. The AEW fans, they hype themselves up in believing one thing's going to happen. And when it doesn't, they get a little critical. Or they basically, really try to avoid, bringing it up because they get egg on their face. And I say that again with all due respect, no offense. Just because, they assume something's going to happen, and when it doesn't, they slightly bring it up, but then they avoid it because, like I say, they don't want to feel the embarrassment or the shame of, oh, we thought this, but instead this happened, I mean, for all we know, Johnny could sign another contract, maybe for one more year. Maybe do one more year so that him and his wife are secure, financially secure and everything. Do one more year and then maybe go to AEW. I think it's the most logical sense to make if he stays with the company. Just to see how things pan out. So right now we cannot assume he's going to be all elite. I mean, I get people want to see the dream matches. I mean, the first thing they're going to want to say is, ooh, I hope Johnny's first match in AEW is against Danielson. Ooh, the match, 5 stars, flips and kicks, whee! And look, and I do that just out of all due respect, no offense, but still, that's how a lot of the AEW and pure wrestling fans are. They're like, ooh, we're going to get this match, or ooh, we're going to get that match, ooh. And look, I get it. You want to have some great matches, and AEW does deliver those kind of matches. I'm not denying that. I am not denying that, but the thing is, folks, we can't assume something's going to happen unless we get more evidence that it's going to happen. I mean, yeah, AEW is interested in is interested in Johnny. There's no doubt. Who wouldn't be? And they would be a fool not to, to pass up on him. They would be a fool to pass up on him. But the thing is, you can't just, assume that person's going to go there just because the contract is up. Because all you're really doing when you're saying, oh, I hope he leaves, I hope he goes here, I hope he goes there, all you're doing is just fueling your rebelliousness towards WWE. And that's all you need to really say, in my opinion. Just come out and say, hey, just come out and, in my opinion, just my bit of advice, just come out and say that, hey, even if Johnny stays with the company and all that for maybe another year or something like that, the reason we would want him to go to AEW is because we want to teach WWE a lesson that if you want us to stay, focus on the wrestling. And that's it. Just come out and be honest about why you want this person to go here, even if potentially or feel potentially they're going to end up staying, or they might take a break. I'm just saying. It's just a bit of advice, that you should just honestly be, honest with the folks, with fellow fans. Just say, hey, I know there's a chance he could stay with the company, or I know there's a chance he'll take a break, but the reason I want him to go to AEW is because I want this match, I want that match, or I want to teach, WWE a lesson of, treating the men and women, wrestlers with respect and giving them opportunities. That's all you have to do, and that's my advice. Just come out and be honest about how you feel and why you want certain things to happen. And that's it. But again, we don't know what Johnny's status is going to be, after the 10th. I mean, if WWE is having Shawn Michaels, of all people, who he recently took a picture with to, support a charity, speaking on their behalf to get him to stay, I think there's a good chance, a 50-50 chance, that he will stay. Now, I'll look at it this way. I'll be more of a realist for you. All right? I'll be more of a realist for you. I believe there is a 50-50 chance that either A, he stays for one more year, or B, he goes on a bit of a break before, coming back into the wrestling business. Because if I'm Johnny Wrestling, I'm Johnny Gargano, if I'm him, and I want to be there for, the birth of my child, be there, for Christmas and everything, without worrying about getting injured and everything. If I'm him, here's what I do. If I decide to go all elite or become all elite, after, leaving WWE, then I wait until they debut on TBS. You wait till the TBS, debut, or you wait till the first quarter special they have on TNT, that being AEW, then I would make my debut there. I would take a month off, at least about a month off, rest my body, spend time with my wife, spend time with my potential future child, spend the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, whatever, rest up, and then go. That's what I would do. So, in my opinion, it's 50-50. It's either A, he's going to stay for maybe one more year, or B, he's going to take a break and then he'll go all elite. That's my opinion. But, again, we don't know what Johnny's status is going to be after the 10th. But it's just my opinion, folks. Just my opinion. But what do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Johnny afterwards? Do you think he's going to show up 6 days later at Winter is Coming? The AEW special edition of Dynamite? Or do you think, he's going to take a break and then maybe if he does go all elite, he might show up on the debut on TBS or maybe on the first quarterly special on TNT? What are your thoughts? Do you think he might stay one more year at the encouragement of Shawn Michaels, with the WWE? What are your thoughts? Comment below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, check out the Teespring store. Also check me out at BW Roses Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also check me out at BW Roses on VENMO. Also check me out at patreon.com/BW Roses to support me there at the $1 or $3 tiers. Also check me out at Venmo if you want to help donate financially there as well. So until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on what you believe Johnny Gargano's status is, and I will talk to y'all later.